What does switching to dynamic motor sport mode do with the tune on the B8s?
Actually, well, primarily you're gonna notice DSG shifting changes. On the ECU side, we actually deliberately make it do less than the factory from a what does it change standpoint. The factory kind of kills your throttle resolution in sport mode and makes it much more of a ridiculous switch versus a throttle.
Yeah, it honestly is just
and
on and off, more of like
it's
an
way more on
switch.
and off. And then with our tune, because there's so much more power you're making, you've got even less resolution to drive around town and or to manipulate the throttle around a track. So we actually remap the throttle quite a bit in both drive and sport. And it's the same in drive and sport with our tunes.
Unfortunately, what Audi does and many companies, automotive manufacturers do, is they kind of create this sensation of faster acceleration by changing the throttle mapping. So when you go into sport, where normally your foot might have to go 2 inches, now it only has to go 3/4 of an inch to get the same accelerated effort. That to us is a gimmick. And so we strip that gimmick out. Like, you're a big boy. If you want to go faster, you push your foot down harder, right? But you may not want to go full throttle. You may want to just add 5% more throttle or 8% more throttle.
Yeah,
and so that's where when it comes to driving, being able to control the car means being able to control the throttle, which controls the power that is coming out of the engine.
Yeah, and I mean,
when you lose resolution to that, you lose your ability to control the car.
To put it in perspective, we're almost doubling the power output on these motors.
Yeah.
And you put it in sport, you're having your throttle resolution from the factory.
Yeah.
Well, our power output with a full throttle, with full pedal travel, you're getting that same amount of stock power at half pedal anyway.
It would be like undrivable.
And then you've got all the more power, the further you go with the throttle. So,
but we trust you guys are able to
push the pedal all the way down.
Tell the ECU how much to accelerate using your foot. And so we don't need to trick it. There's a product out there called the Sprint Booster, which is a total piece of crap, but it's this thing you plug in to your pedal and it tweaks the signal, and it basically reduces the resolution of the signal so that the ECU opens the throttle faster. It doesn't make your car faster.
It doesn't open the throttle faster.
It doesn't change anything.
It opens it more for a given amount of pedaling.
Exactly.
So,
it remaps the voltage going through that sensor. So but yeah, I mean, some of the other sport, features still function.
Oh yeah. You'll most of it's going to be in the DSG. You'll feel it in the DSG and the shifting. Strategies.
A really bad one with that is the factory E46 BMW, which is an ITB, really cool ITB setup from the factory. But you go into sport mode, the car's like barely drivable. Like, it's just like, and there's no like middle throttle range at all.
You've got this much pedal travel, and then everything else is the same. It's ridiculous.
And it sucks because you go into sport mode, and some things would change for the better.
You get some things you want,
but the most important thing, throttle control, would get all screwed up. So you just end up driving in normal mode.
And a lot of this comes back from when we drive these cars on track.
This is really important.
Is being able to control the throttle, mid corner when you want 60, 50, 70% throttle.
Yeah,
that's really hard to do on some OEM tuning strategies.
Yes.